Hey guys, ACairconditioner, and welcome back for more Genshin Impact 3.3 events. Yeah, last time we continued with the story of Akitsu Kimodameshi, aka the Test of Courage, and no matter what happens today, this is the end. If there's a secret part 4, I'm doing it all in this session, I don't care. All or nothing. Because nothing went wrong when you did that, right? Nothing went wrong. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I literally been procrastinating recording this one thing. So, here we go.
Traveler, Paimon, please let me be your partner for the final round of the test of courage.
Oh, okay.
I'd like your assistance with this investigation, since you two are the only ones who
Again,
have seen the alleged ghost.
Is it just me or does Hazel kind of sounds like Scaramouche? Because he kind of does. Slash Wanderer. Like, I know different voice actors, but they sound really similar to me. I don't know why. And by me, do you have any ideas so far, Hazel?
I have a few theories, but we don't have enough leads yet. There are some places I'd like to investigate first, so you two can accompany me.
Sure. Where would you like to start?
I want to go back to where we first met up. According to your accounts, you encountered the ghost there and passed out. I believe there may still be some clues there.
Right.
Do we really have to go there? What if we're walking into a trap?
You're not afraid, are you, Paimon?
Are you worried that she'll be waiting for us? If anything, that would make things easier. My worry is that we won't be able to find her. Honestly, it'd save me a lot of trouble if she were to show up on her own.
Wow, Hazel, you're fearless.
He's a
The more
detective.
cases you see, the less afraid you become. Let's go.
Currents of life. Well, I was gonna say Hazel's a detective, so I'm not surprised that he's fearless.
This should be approximately where you first encountered the ghost. Of course, we cannot conclude whether the woman is actually a ghost or not at this point, but I'd like to go over everything that happened again. Do you recall anything she said at the time?
Let Paimon think. She warned us not to go near her, and she said if we didn't leave, our souls would become trapped here.
Are we in another samsara?
Ooh, Paimon doesn't want to remember that moment. Paimon's shivering just thinking about it.
And then what happened?
I think we're in another samsara, guys.
Everything seemed to get darker, and Paimon started to feel dizzy. There were ghostly flames flickering all around, and Paimon saw some.
And then a Garatina appeared out of nowhere. Okay, I'm kidding.
And then Paimon passed out.
Based on your account, it does really seem like you've seen a ghost.
Exactly. So are you convinced it was a ghost now?
It's possible, but I'm more interested in what she's actually trying to achieve than what she is. Even if she is a ghost, as long as she possesses some sense of reason, then there must be some purpose behind her actions.
Wasn't she after our souls? She said that herself.
She could just be saying that, Paimon.
I think she was just trying to scare you.
Oh, you think so?
Think about it. If I had the ability to take your souls, then why go to the trouble of warning you over and over again?
That's true.
Besides, a ghost wouldn't have allowed
If you're
you
going to take
walk
someone's
away
soul
knowing about
or
the
their
secret
life,
of its
you would just
powers.
do it. That's the whole point of an assassin, you know?
That does make sense.
Or ghost.
Huh. Why didn't
Or
Paimon
Reaper.
think of that?
Because you're always too scared to think straight.
I believe there are only two possibilities. The first is that she wanted to reap your souls, but there was some condition that had to be met. You know, like what we usually call a curse. But if you had really been cursed, then you would probably have noticed it by now.
Yeah.
So, this is the less likely scenario. I believe she was just trying to scare you away.
But why would she want to scare us away? Oh, Paimon knows.
There's something here that's
Maybe
precious
she
to
was
us.
trying to
Precious
get
to
us
her.
points so she could claim the test of courage prizes.
Was she registered as a contestant? Keep in mind, we're not sure if we can associate the yokai and the test of courage together at least, or at least this woman with the test of courage at all.
Oh.
So there's something else here that she wants to
Why
protect.
does she want to scare us? Do you have any ideas, Hazel?
Based solely on your account, I don't believe she actually meant any harm. She just didn't want you to stay here. But this evidence alone is insufficient to make any valid assumptions. She could very well be guarding some treasure or covering up a crime. Though, my intuition is telling me that neither of these hypotheses are correct. Let's continue investigating the surrounding area.
There's some footprints visible on the ground. However, upon close inspection, they seem to belong to Hazel myself. Could that woman really be a ghost? I looked all around, but I haven't found any clues. Looking up, there are a few branches that have been bent slightly downward, as if something heavy had been hanging from them. A net, I guess, or a trap?
Have you found any leads yet?
I know some branches that seemed a little unusual.
Yeah, some tree branches seem like they were bent by something, but that's about it.
I see. After you left, I took a good look around the area.
Something perched
Aside
on
from the
it?
bent
Something that was
branches,
hanging on it?
there are burn marks in some places, but that doesn't really tell us much.
Or a net?
If only there
rope?
was some more conclusive evidence.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's you guys! What are you all doing here? We heard you were out searching for clues, and we wanted to help. Oh, that's really brave of you.
Actually, we're also really unsure about what's happening here. We just asked the members of Mr. Ito's gang about what happened to them, and it sounded really scary. That lady is either a nasty evil spirit or a formidable yokai. Either way, it's not good. But we still want to hold the Mikawa Flower Festival. Uh-huh.
We long admired the friendship between Lord Kamai and the samurai, which is why we want to hold the Mikawa Flower Festival, to return the favor we once received from the humans. Even though our powers are limited, we don't want this bond of friendship to vanish. The Mikawa Flower Festival is meant to be enjoyable for everyone.
The Chinju Forest covers a large area, so it'd be great to have more help in the investigation. Welcome to the team. Let's all do our best to figure out what's going on.
Don't worry, we're very familiar with the area. We won't miss any clues.
It's interesting how they're actually yokai, but they look like kids wearing a mask. By this point, I'm convinced by now that they're not just kids.
Look what I found down by the river! Huh? What is it?
Is it a scrap of black cloth? I've never seen fabric like this before.
Excuse me?
This is a piece of shade cloth.
Shade cloth?
Yeah, it can effectively block out light and is used in a variety of settings, including stage performances.
Oh.
There's a rough tear in the cloth, probably caused by a sharp stone, or maybe some branches.
Could that be what was hanging on the branch?
Suppose that a large shade cloth was originally hung from a tree, bending the branches. When the shade cloth was removed from the tree, perhaps one of the corners caught and the branches ripped it, causing a small piece of black cloth to fall into the river. Either she didn't care, or she was in too great a hurry. Perhaps she had other things to handle at the time.
But why would she hang shade cloth in the trees?
I'm only speculating, but maybe she used it to create the atmosphere you experienced.
What do you mean?
Let's not worry about that for now. There's still many variables I haven't deduced yet. Next, I'd like to investigate the place where the Arataki gang encountered her. Do you know how to get there?
Oh, I know the way. I asked the gang members where their encounter with the ghost happened when we were chatting earlier. I'll take you there.
Good. Please lead the way.
So
Let's go
there are a
find
total of
out what's
3
going on.
encounters with that same ghost. One here, one by the beach, and one by where the Arataki encountered her.
This is the place. They claimed that as they passed through here, the area suddenly grew dark, and some ghostly flames appeared out of nowhere.
Huh. What a coincidence. We saw the very same thing.
Let's start by taking a look around the area, just as we did before.
I found some sort of smashed ball under the tree. The inside of it looks like it was blackened by smoke, and it smells like fireworks.
Smoke effect. That's a smoke bomb.
Judging from the burn marks left on the scene, the ghostly flames you saw were not created by yokai power. Rather, they appear to have been caused by something flammable. I'm not sure what, though.
Some sort of candle, perhaps.
There's some strange powder in the cracks of these stones. I picked some up and sniffed it to see what it is, and it made me really dizzy.
Why would you
Ugh.
do that?
I'm so tired now.
Could it be ash of some kind?
Similar scare tactics. And she didn't have the time to completely hide the traces. I believe we're closing in on the truth now. I'm almost certain that the woman you encountered was not a ghost. She possesses no extraordinary powers. She was merely scaring people with some small props she had set up ahead of time.
Some small props? But can you really do all that with just some props?
Yeah, I
What
can.
we saw was absolutely terrifying.
First and foremost, the test of courage contributed to the unsettling atmosphere here. You were initially frightened by your first encounter with these 3 yokai, and then shortly after, you ran into the mysterious woman. It was natural for you to be on edge. Because you were already tensed up, you were breathing more rapidly and inhaled a lot of sleeping powder that she had sprinkled around the area.
Oh.
That is what
So
caused
that
you
was
to
the
feel
powder.
dizzy. That's when she pulled down the shade cloth and lit those so-called ghostly flames, creating a terrifying scene. That's the most likely explanation anyway.
So, it was all just a show? Ugh, she tricked us!
Yep.
There is, however, still one loose end. The person who commissioned my investigation did become stranded on the beach as a result of some unusual power. That couldn't have been accomplished by just a few small props. But if she possesses such powers, why bother with the theatrics?
Oh, Paimon can't wrap her head around all this.
Shouldn't we go back to the beach then?
She can only use props to scare people in the forest, but she can use strange powers on the beach. Huh, I see. I think I've figured it out.
Whoa, that was fast.
If
Hazel's
we rule out
galaxy
the potential
brain.
of organized crime, then only one possibility remains. I know who the woman is. Let's go to the beach.
I was gonna say we should go back there, yeah.
We'll come along too.
No, you should go back and tell the others not to be afraid and not waste their time searching the forest. The truth has surfaced. It's time to put an end to all the unnecessary panic and await the outcome of the test of courage.
Okay, but please be careful. If you run into any danger, simply call out our names. We'll be able to hear you.
There shouldn't be any danger now, but thank you anyway. Let's go. Let's search along the cliffside. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a chunk of earth that's unlike the others.
It's a chunk of earth that's unlike the others. For anything unusual on the beach. Here?
I knew it. I knew that you would come find me here.
There she is. Paimon thought you were a yokai like the others, but they said they never seen you before. So, who are you? And why did you try to scare us?
I have already warned you never to speak to me. If you don't leave now, then...
She's terrifying! Hazel, it sure doesn't seem like she's using any props this time!
Don't move. Just trust me. Your yokai power won't scare us. It'll only hasten your demise.
Yokai power?
Huh? How did you know?
You're a yokai that emerged from an object and assumed a human form outside of your own body.
Wait, what?
When this type of yokai is close to its own body, it can use some yokai power, but that ability weakens as it moves further away. And if the original body is destroyed, then the yokai that originated from it will likewise perish. Should I refer to you as a Hagoita spirit or Tsukumogami?
Don't bother. You may call me Hanyuuda Chizuru. That is the name I go by now.
Chizuru, why do you want us to leave? If you're a yokai, you should understand why the other yokai want to interact with humans. Besides, we had a great time playing Akitsu Yugen together, didn't we? Just like the story of Kamai and the samurai.
Yes, that's why. That's why I don't want you to be sad too.
Sad? What do you mean?
I'm confused.
I'm sure the yokai have already told you of the story about Kamai befriending the samurai.
What, is that not the whole
They
story?
don't actually know the entire story. The samurai was about 25 years old when they met at the festival. They met again 10 years later and remained friends. They spent time together drinking,
Oh, I
traveling,
think I know where
and
this is
sparring.
gonna go.
When they had first met, they merely respected each other, but 10 years later, they became best friends. After another decade, the samurai had reached the pinnacle of his swordsmanship and won their duel by a narrow margin. Kamai was so astonished by his defeat, he gave up drinking and began training to become stronger for their next duel. However, another
He didn't
10
come
years
back.
later, Kamai did not meet the samurai. As it turned out, war had broken out in the south, and the samurai had gone to defend the border. Kamai was unconcerned, because 10 years was nothing in a yokai's lifetime. But when they met once again, Kamai discovered that the samurai was already 65 years old. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the samurai's gray hair and scars covering his body.
Hey, old friend. Can you still wield the sword?
I'm getting too old to fight. This time, I've come to say goodbye.
I see. Then, how about one last game of Akitsu Hazara?
All right.
The samurai gave his best effort during the game, but had to quit halfway through because he was too weak. After putting down his Hagoita, Kamai remained silent for a long time before letting out a long sigh.
What a shame.
Their friendship started as something they looked forward to, and in just a few decades it turned into regret. Lord Kamai's appearance hadn't changed, but his dear friend in front of him had grown old. The joys of friendship gradually gave way to the pain of regret. People often say that those outside the situation can see things more clearly, And
That's
I
sad.
learned a harsh truth after witnessing all of it. Everything that people come to regret is inevitably set in motion from the beginning. We yokai are different from humans. We have longer lifespans and different natures, but we share the same world. We interact with one another. We are drawn to one another, and will eventually part ways. When the dream ends, all that is left are sorrowful memories and lingering pain. Even a wise and seasoned yokai like Kamai felt sadness when it was time to say goodbye. Imagine what a pure and kind little yokai would feel.
So she's afraid of the pain of farewell. Because that's what Kamai felt.
So, you mean...
I was hiding on this beach, waiting for the last of my days. But those 3 yokai came and set up the Akitsu here, which woke me from my slumber. I didn't want them to approach humans with unbridled optimism and enthusiasm just because they'd heard the legend of Kamai and the samurai. That would simply be repeating the same mistake.
Is that why you pretended to be a ghost? To scare all the people away from here? Oh, so you must be the one who trapped that guy on the beach. That was a little bit harsh, don't you think?
My power has become pretty weak now, and most of the time I just use some props I've collected to scare people. I can't show myself when there are a lot of people around. But that jerk was greedy. He wanted to steal the decorations from Akitsu and sell them for a profit. That's why I used my yokai power, to teach him a lesson.
Ah, so that's what happened. You have a strong sense of justice. By the way, how did you know the rest of the story about Kamai and the samurai?
Maybe because she
It's
was
okay if
there.
you don't want to tell us. I've already figured it out. Your true form is this pair of Hagoita, isn't
Oh, that explains. You know what? That will explain a lot. Yeah.
Hagoita? Oh, wait! So that means she's...
it? The pair of Hagoita used by Kamai and the human samurai to play Akitsu Hazura hundreds of years ago.
She is that very
You
same.
gradually developed
pair of
sentience after
Hagoita.
being influenced by great yokai power. You were the closest to witness their story. Even with the yokai power's blessing, the Hagoita have started to rot away after hundreds of years. You can't sustain
Yokai
yourself,
can be born by
so
many
you were
other
forced
ways.
to rely on props
That
to scare
includes
people.
even
And
in the most simple
If
objects
my
like this.
theory is correct, this pair of Hagoita is also the item we need to find for the 3rd round of the test of courage.
Excellent work. You figured it all out.
Miko?
Congratulations, little ones. You've passed the 3rd round of the test of courage.
Miko? And the Shrine Maiden? Paimon thought you went missing.
I apologize for causing you concern. It was actually Lady Yai's idea.
You know what? I had a feeling. Miko herself was a yokai as well, so
Well, what did you think? Were you scared?
don't look at me.
Because fear is induced by
Look at Paimon.
uncertainty, the more chaotic the situation, the better. Having the event staff
You
also
are a
mysteriously
troll.
vanish only added to the uncertainty. I must say, I think this test of courage truly lived up to its name.
So you're the one responsible for all the scary stuff.
Hitomi, go
Are you
tell the
surprised?
others that the test of courage has ended and that we have a winner.
You know, it's funny that Miko will
Now
be
that
the one
I've
behind
solved
this.
the mystery,
Honestly.
I'm going back to meet with my client. The intent to steal is not exactly a serious crime, but it can't go unpunished. I'll see you two later.
Oh, the client was that same person that was trapped on the beach. Okay.
Miko, did you choose the Hagoita for the 3rd round of the test of courage because you already knew about Chizuru?
Miko, Lady Yai, you're...
Yes.
I followed Kitsune Saigu around the Mikawa Flower Festival one year and saw her play Akitsu Hazura. That was when I saw you. You didn't have a human form at the time, and possessed only the earliest traces of sentience.
So Mika also knew about
I
Kitsune Saigo as
remember
well.
now. You were on Kitsune Saigu's shoulder.
I went for a stroll on the beach some time ago and sensed a familiar yokai
Oh,
power.
was Miko on her fox
Though
form
your
at the time?
power was weak,
Because we
I
know
was
what Miko's
still
fox
able
form
to
is.
find you. You were sitting in a tree, gazing at the tourists below. I overheard you telling yourself that you must be patient and avoid contact with humans.
Huh? When was that? I didn't notice you at all.
With your powers being so diminished, it was only natural that you didn't notice me. You must have been blaming yourself all this time. You knew Kamai and the samurai became friends as a result
she
of
felt
Akitsu
guilty.
Kimodameshi, a game connected to your existence.
At the time, I couldn't take on a human
Because she
form
was
like
the one.
this.
She was the one that
I had
connected them,
only a
and
hazy sense
overall,
of the
the
outer
source of their
world.
regret.
After they first met at the Mikawa Flower Festival, I felt
That's
proud
really sad.
to know that I had left a mark on their story. But after they said their final goodbyes, I could often hear Kamai sighing to himself. I couldn't help but hide, because I blamed myself. When I woke up again, the world had changed. Lady Yae, you are a well-known yokai. You must know many more things than I do. So I have a question for you. People meet, become friends, and then go their separate ways. After such a short time, they leave only regret and sadness in their wake. Is it really worthwhile for us yokai to interact with humans?
Why not? Tell me, how did you feel when you played Akitsu Yugen with the Traveler?
I felt happy, but
But your rationality told you that it was wrong, didn't it? It turns out that there is still another piece to the story of Kamai and the samurai that you are missing.
what do you mean? The samurai and Kamai never met again.
True, but the story doesn't end there. That samurai's name was
Whoa.
Yanagibashi Takuto, who also happens to be the founder of the Soran Ishin art. It is believed that Takuto developed this style of swordsmanship while dueling with Kamai,
Really?
who had also befriended the third-generation heir of the Soran Ishin art, Tominaga Masanari. 500 years ago, Kamai and Tominaga fought side by side until their final moments, and the sword Tominaga wielded was passed down from Yanagibashi. The regret Kamai once felt had finally been resolved.
So the Ishin art style was actually from the
never knew.
duel?
We yokai are not like humans. Humans have too short a lifespan, and the day will inevitably come when we must say goodbye. However, the bond formed by friendship will not be broken, but rather carried on in a new form. There's no reason to be upset by this. Time flies by in an instant, and life passes by like a dream. So, you must be happy in the present. You should understand what I mean now.
Hey, compadres!
Hey, Ito.
Ito, what are you doing here?
He told me everything. And I also heard that you won the last round. I even know who the ghost lady is now. Anyway, I had a little discussion with the others, and, Hey, you're that fox lady. Why are you here?
Please just disregard my presence. Now, tell us what you discussed.
Now we have a Kitsune and an Oni together.
Ah, right. All right, listen up. To celebrate the end of the Test of Courage event, we will be holding the Mikawa Flower Festival. I gave it some real thought and realized that it might be kind of difficult for those little yokai to hold the festival on their own. But with my help, it won't be a problem. That's right. Arataki, the one and only Ito, will be in charge of organizing the best Mikawa Flower Festival anyone's ever seen.
Hooray for Ito!
Oh,
Can we really trust this guy with the festival?
Nope.
Hey, what you trying to say? Besides, it won't just be me. Other people will help too. Even my bro Ayato is gonna be there. Everyone's busy getting ready, and the festival will be up and running in no time. It won't be long until you can all join the fun.
You're the best, Ito!
Also, Ayato's not your bro, Ito. Let's get that one thing straight. I'm kidding. Oh, look, you have your Mia,
And what would a
Goro.
festival be without me? I'll be sure to go have a look too.
Is that this is not an actual cutscene?
Ah, it has been some time since I've attended a festival. Fortunately, I brought sake with me.
Paimon's gotta admit, Ito does have his moments. A festival, delicious food, count Paimon in!
You want to join us, Chizuru?
Alright, I'll join. If you don't mind, that is.
Looks like the festival has started! Let's go check it out!
So what Chizuru said, it is rather sad, but at the same time, it is also a bit of scary foreshadowing here because, yeah, let's be honest with ourselves. What is the Traveler? What are we? Because in this game, we the Traveler are not exactly human. You're not. We do not. And because we're some sort of godly being. Once we get all of our powers, what's gonna happen next? And are gonna say goodbye to everyone that we meet here. Not just Nidazumo, but everybody. Mondstadt, Liyue, Sumeru, Fontaine, Not Lynch, Tesnaya are just gonna say goodbye to all of them. What happens next? There is that fear of saying farewell, which is very well warranted.
Ito and Goro! What are you two talking about?
Oh, I didn't even see Aika
I
there.
was just saying that if I had more time, I'd have built a massive fishing pond here.
Fishing? You know, when I lived on Watatsumi Island, I used to just dive into the sea and catch fish with my bare hands.
You're a dog, Goro. I'm kidding.
Take it from an expert, using your hands to catch fish is nowhere near as fun as using a
I mean,
fishing rod.
Goro's a dog,
Just
so
the
I'm
other
not
day, I
sure.
caught a fish so big that I didn't even know how to handle it. I even wrote a letter to Yai Publishing House about it.
Why would you send a letter to the Yai
That's an
Publishing House
unusual problem
about
to
that?
have.
Also, Ayaka's just there in the
A
back.
big fish? How come you didn't tell us? Paimon could have helped you eat it!
Because we were gone.
You wrote a letter to Yai Publishing House?
Oh, you bet I did. I wrote to the That's Life column and asked Miss Hina for advice. Ah, she's so amazing. She got back to me really quickly, too.
What a coincidence. I do some part-time work there, and I recently received a similar letter.
Goro?
You mean the letter was about dealing with a giant fish they caught? No. Could it be?
No, no.
Could it be that there's
Okay, thank
someone
God.
as good at fishing as I am? Oh, not on my watch. Hey, you all go enjoy the festival. I'm gonna get out there and catch an even bigger fish.
We saved Goro.
Just you wait. I'll be inviting you all to my fish feast.
Guys, we have saved Goro.
Aw, the string snapped. I was so close. Yoimiya, this is more difficult than it looks. Can you really fish out these water balloons with a string?
Wait, that's possible?
Don't worry, let me show you a little trick. Just remember that your hand has to be quick. Yo-Yo Tsuri! Paimon's seen this game in some light novels before. Do you want to give it a shot? Close one eye, aim carefully, and fish it out quickly.
This is wholesome.
Oh, it looks kinda tricky. Paimon will let the Traveler try. You have to catch at least 3 water balloons since there's 3 of us.
But Yoimiya, if I close one eye, I won't be able to see anything.
Oh, yeah. Look at this amazing cutscene. I'm kidding.
This ramen is so good.
Sayu and Ayaka? Okay, Paimon.
Yes,
It feels like it's been ages since the last time I had some.
Hmm? You mean you don't get to eat ramen very often, Ayaka? But it's so delicious!
She's probably
Oh,
too busy.
it's you. We'll need 2 more bowls of ramen, please. Food like ramen and hot pot tend to have a lot of oil and salt, so I don't get to eat them very often.
That's a big mood.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, now Paimon totally gets why Ayaka would put cake into hot pot.
Don't judge her.
Oh, please, no need to bring that up again.
God, that's a callback and a half.
Stuffed and feeling a little sleepy. I'm just gonna take a nap.
By the way, were there any special stalls at yokai festivals in the past?
Yes, but... well, it's a long story.
What was that moon?
Paimon can't believe you couldn't get a single water balloon. You've gotten rusty.
Okay, well, you could try next time, Paimon. Go ahead.
Chizuru managed to finally get one and gave it to Hitotsume Kozo.
He looked like he really wanted it.
But Paimon wanted one too.
All right, then I'll catch one for you next time.
Yay!
You know what? This is a wholesome event. I'm not gonna lie. Oh,
Come on now,
okay.
this is way more expensive than usual. Even if it is a festival, you shouldn't hike up the prices this much.
Hi, Toma.
Hey now, it costs money to run a stall. I need to raise my prices to help cover the expenses, you know?
Fair enough. How about 5 masks for 30% off? Final offer.
Alright, alright.
Tomo's using his skills.
It's
Kazuha?
so hot. Feels like I'm being roasted here.
Don't get too close. It's better to keep a few steps back.
I know. It's just so rare to see such a nice bonfire. I want to get as close as I can to enjoy it.
But staying really
There
close
are
to
many
it's an
beautiful
awful
things in the
idea.
world. There's no need to be anxious. The festival has only just begun.
I honestly like
I
this
was
dialogue.
surprised that you didn't even tell your sister. It seems she was quite frightened too.
Wow.
It would have been uninteresting had I told her what was going to happen ahead of time.
You want to give Aika the authentic
Besides,
experience, huh?
With her friends by her side, she wouldn't ever be too scared. Having a little fright is good to release any tension she might have accumulated lately.
Everything went according to plan. People started to panic as
You
soon as
two
they sensed that they had no
are
idea what was
are
happening.
such big trolls. Both
How
of you.
amusing.
Yes, well done.
Hey, you two, stop laughing! It was scary!
Have you finished exploring the festival?
Just about. Wait, so of all the characters that we met so far, which Inazuma character never showed up at all? Sala never showed up. Kokumi never showed up. I did this before, I'm doing it again. Yeah, and Shinobu never showed up either. Just those 3.
Well then, are you having a good time?
Yeah, it's great!
The original Mikawa Flower Festival was much more lively, but even if you could attend the original, you probably wouldn't be as happy as you are now. Because it's always more fun to enjoy a festival with friends, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you.
Well then, I'm guessing you have something you want to say to him alone? We'll leave you in peace.
What did you want to say to us?
Ah, you saw through me again. I can't help but feel you somehow know everything.
It's not that I know everything. It's just that I've been in your position before.
Traveler, do you have a moment? I'd like to talk to you. Alone on the beach.
Wait, so by alone you mean like alone? Like without Paimon? Because normally whenever that happens, it's usually really sus. And there is always gonna be some sort of major foreshadowing here. Usually. Oh my god, Palma's not even here either.
Alright, here will do. Thank you for agreeing to come with me.
Don't mention it.
Actually, I was delighted when I first discovered that I could take on a human form. I was a yokai derived from a pair of Hagoita who came into being in the middle of a festival, so naturally I enjoyed the lively festival atmosphere. I wanted to go to more festivals, become friends with humans, and play Akitsu with them. But every evening, as night began to set in, I'd recall the bitter smile of the old samurai as he set down the Hagoita, and the lonely Kamai sighing as he drank his sake. Then I would wonder, if I became friends with a human, would that person experience the same melancholy in the future? As a result, I was convinced that I couldn't do it. I told myself I would not repeat that same mistake.
I understand what you mean.
I'm sorry that I spoke so strangely when we first met. I'm sure it must have scared you.
Nah, not really.
I expected you to flee in terror. But when we met again, you acted like you had no trouble being around me. I knew you mistook me as one of the yokai, but instead of telling you the truth, I went and played Akitsu with you.
Why?
I'm not completely sure myself. Perhaps it's because I've always wanted to be like Kamai and play Akitsu with humans. Or perhaps it was because I knew I didn't have much time left, and I didn't want to be alone. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to play with me. When we played Akitsu Paimon said the loser would have to grant the winner a wish. At the time, I wished for us to never cross paths again. However, you still came and found me, meaning you never granted my wish. So, can I make another wish?
As long as I can fulfill it.
Let me think. I wish for you to remember me. No. I only have one wish, so I better make it count. Okay. Listen carefully. My wish is, I wish that every day of your journey ahead will be filled with joy, like a festival.
Oh! Really? Oh, that's a screenshot. Oh, that's so sad. Look, that's such a sad ending. Aww. What's with Genshin and make me feel for NPCs? First was Teppei, then with Dunya-sara, and now. My god. Also these are a lot of characters here this time around. But yeah. That was Akitsu Kimodameshi. The Test of Courage. It's a like, I don't know how to describe this event. It's a cool event. Like, it's definitely not one of like the major events like Lantern Rite scale or Irodori Festival scale in my opinion. But it's definitely up there. And I wouldn't say it's up there as one of the best events, but it's definitely good. It's just good. Like, it's wholesome. I think it has an interesting story with a rather bittersweet ending. I think the characters played were really cool. Overall, it was just satisfying. It was just a satisfying event. That's all I can say, really. Next time, there's nothing for me to show you in 3.3. Other than TCG, but that's something I probably won't be getting into. Not in a while, actually, at least. If you guys enjoyed leave a like, subscribe, and leave your own thoughts about how you felt about the event. Sorry for the little problems of background noise. But that'll be it for me. ACairconditioner signing out. Have a good one, guys. And just remember to enjoy the moments. I think that's the lesson that we learned here today. Stay safe.